Hello, hello, my creative friends. I am so happy to be here with you today. It's raining so hard outside in Florida, and we've just been waiting for it. It's been like drought season for some reason. So it's beautiful. But man, there's some big emotions, and I know everybody is feeling them because this Scorpio full moon has shifted a lot in people. Now, maybe you've been having a good time, and hey, I'm here for it. I'm cheering you on. But there are a lot of people who are emotionally feeling this one because Scorpio is the deepest sign. It has so many layers to it. And if you know Scorpios in your life, you can attest to this. My husband is a Scorpio rising, and I just see this so much with him. But being able to tap into what these big emotions are trying to tell you is massive for breakthroughs. Like, absolutely. I know it doesn't always feel like that, but this is a push in the right direction for you and a realignment. All that being said, I want to welcome to the podcast today. We are going to go over this Scorpio full moon and what it means for each of you in your rising sign. But I'm also going to be sharing some really fun news, some announcements if you hang tight to the end, including quiet release announcement of a retreat that I haven't solidified the days on, but I do have the place, and it's just going to be amazing to chat with you guys today. So if you're new here, my name is Aubrey Barr. Welcome to Creative Entrepreneurs Unblocked. I am a multi-passionate creative entrepreneur, loves photography, loves being able to reach other artists on my level and create a community where we can heal and actually get to the deeper stuff that we so often will gloss over in our businesses and in our personal lives. So if you are here for some major mindset shifts, if you're interested in astrology, if you're interested in the subconscious mind, this is the perfect place for you. So I welcome you, and please leave us a review if you feel so inclined and if you feel so inspired too. We always appreciate that because that is how Apple and Spotify and all of the different platforms share our work, because they know people are listening and they know they're engaging. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Let's go ahead and dive into this Scorpio full moon. Now, I'm going to try not to get too personal here because I am feeling this majorly, and I looked deep into it. You guys know that I'm an astrologer, but there's so much depth to this. It's just crazy. And so I was feeling it so much that I dug a little deeper. And what I found out was quite incredible, and I'm super excited about it. But at the same time, I know if I was feeling it, there's a lot of you who probably are too. This moon is not here to be subtle. That's what I want you to understand first off. She's asking us to feel it, to face it, and to freaking change it. Like, there's no way around it. Whatever you have experienced in the last, let's say, week, that feels super heavy, or maybe it feels lighthearted because you've already been through this transformation process. Either way, there's no avoiding it, okay? This is like in your face. Let's do it. So what is this good for? Let's say it's letting go of obsession, power struggles, and secrecy, okay? Even secrecy from yourself, okay? Embodying a deeper self-trust. That's another thing that's happening here. And it's bringing that shadow work and spiritual reinvention to the surface. It's saying, hey, let's use this experience. Let's use this, whatever you're dealing with in life, and we're going to change it. We're going to change it now because you're going to reinvent yourself, like, period. Feeling and moving through these stuck emotion layers is huge. So for a lot of you, you're attracted to my podcast and to me as a person and my brand because I not only speak truth, but I am always talking about the ways we can move through the shadow work. I am not someone to hide it under the rug, okay? But the thing I want you to understand about the Scorpio full moon is that it is naturally bringing up things that have not bothered you recently. They have not came to the surface in any way. You might have thought, hey, I am healed from that experience. I am healed from thinking I'm unworthy. I am healed from that feeling of rejection, right? But this Scorpio, I'm telling you guys, it will dig deep. And there are some things going on with Uranus too that might bring some of these things up for you in a little bit of an unexpected way, almost surprising. This could be good surprises. This could be neutral surprises. It could be, oh, I didn't think that was going to happen, but here we go, right? It doesn't have to be a bad thing, but I'm telling you, when this surprise comes up, when this shadow work comes to the surface, it's going to feel like complete crap for a little bit. And then I'm telling you, okay, trust the process, because the person you are going to be on the other side of this full moon is incredibly, incredibly changed and beautiful. And we're all here for that, right? What I was saying as I was talking is the reason why people are attracted to this work, and the reason why you are listening to this podcast right now is because you are one of those warriors that is willing to do the work. You are willing to look at your own struggles and say, I don't want to live life this way, and I don't believe I have to. So I know that is you. And I'm telling you now, you are going to make it through this. And you are going to be better on the other side. And if you're one of those people that are like, you know what, I'm actually handling this full moon pretty well, it's probably not hitting you in the same ways on your chart. And you know what, congratulations. And maybe take a minute to say, oh, is my spouse dealing with this pretty heavy? Are my kids dealing with this pretty heavy? Because this episode will also help you to understand what they are dealing with. And that is a beautiful, beautiful gift. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a extremely short but to the point description of what you may be experiencing with this Scorpio full moon. And let me know if this resonates with you guys, okay? So we are going to go by rising sign, because that is truly telling us which house you are experiencing this in. Each house has its own values. It has its own focus. And so there's certain things in life that will hit differently. Now, please keep in mind, okay, that this is also hitting somewhere else on your chart. Okay, for example, I am a Virgo rising. Okay, so this is happening in my third house of communication. However, I am feeling it pretty majorly in my own self-worth. And that's because when I pull up my chart and I look at this Scorpio full moon transit, it's actually right on my Libra moon in my second house. Okay, so there's other things going on your chart, in your world, that are not going to show up right here. But I really encourage you to pull up a free chart anywhere on the internet. Just Google it if you want, but AstroChart has a pretty one, AstroDienst. I don't know how to say that, but it's what I use professionally. That's bad. I don't know how to say it. But anyway, I'll put the link in the show notes, but you can pull it up and then you could put in your birth date, birth time, birthplace, and then you can click to add the current transits, and you will see exactly where that Scorpio full moon has been hitting. And you would give or take a few spots, because it actually was late last night, I guess early this morning on Monday, okay? So that being said, please, if you feel so inclined, look that up for yourself. I love putting these tools in your hands so that you guys can see for yourself what's going on. And if it's still not enough, if you're super struggling, please reach out. I still have my astrology readings for $88 that is going to be changing very soon when I actually get my certification. So take advantage while you can, and let's talk about it. Let's see what we find. All right, without further ado, Aries rising, okay? This Scorpio full moon is happening in your transformation area of shared finances. So that's going to be your 8th house. This is also deep emotional ties. Okay, so you are already feeling that here. You might feel raw about certain circumstances going through your life, but you also feel ready to tackle them. So good for you. Okay, use that powerful Aries motivational kind of action that takes place to allow yourself to start working through all of that shadow work that's coming up for you. Don't sit on it. Just work on through it. I know you can do it. For Taurus rising, so this is happening in your relationships. This is your 7th house. This is your most significant relationship. And it's honestly any of those close business ties too. So any contract you have, like one-on-one with another business, you might feel it here too. The boundaries are so important right now in this space for you. So let's make sure that you are allowing yourself to put out those boundaries correctly to your partner and to businesses or whatever. You really feel like this is a little unstable for you right now. So just dig deep into that. And I would say trust that this process is going to move smoothly for you. That will help you in being able to accomplish whatever you need to in this area of life. For Gemini rising, your daily routine and your health might be screaming for an overhaul. This is your sixth house. This is like, what am I doing every day? Also, what am I eating every day? How is my work schedule? How's my work-life balance? Like all of that is definitely coming up for you. Big emphasis here on your nervous system care, okay? We want to be able to implement something in your daily routine that's going to ground you, that's going to connect you to the earth, connect you to that inner knowing, that divine strength that you have inside of you. That's going to be the big focus here. For Cancer rising, this is happening in your fifth house, okay? This is the imagination. This is your childlike attributes. This is creativity, okay? There is a creative shadow cleanse happening right now. And it's time to stop playing small. Okay. Something is coming in there and it's saying, hey, let's get to the root of this. Let's move on because you are making yourself smaller in a very creative way. So you're taking those passions that you have and you're saying, let me put them in this little box to fit whatever society wants or whatever my spouse wants or whatever my parents think I need, right? And this moon is saying, no, honey, you're meant to be bigger. Let's find ways to release it out of there. For Leo rising, this is your fourth house. This is old family patterns. This could also be ancestral things going on here. Okay. You are really looking at these childhood dynamics that you had. They might be resurfacing. They might be resurfacing in your family now. And you might say, well, my parents always did it this way. And actually, I don't think that was a great way of doing it. So let me reassess how I want to raise my kids. You might want a clean slate here for this foundational kind of family vibe that you're searching for. And I think it's a great time to kind of wipe it clean and say, what is working here? What is not? How can I make this a more cohesive environment for everybody involved? For Virgo rising, hey friend, that's me too. Your communication is so powerful right now. Speak the truth. Even if your voice shakes, even if the walls are crumbling down around you, when you speak your truth, you are calling in so many people that are like-minded and so many experiences, you have no idea. I know sometimes we like to keep ourselves small with this. We like to be kind of the balance, right? Sometimes we might feel like, well, I'm going to say this, but I'm not going to go too deep or too hard because I'm trying to restrain from hurting people's feelings or from making myself seem better than them. Let's say that. You need to put out there in the world what you're doing with your business. I'm going to tell you that right now. You need to put out in the world what you're doing with your life. There's somebody sitting there in the background that's listening. So whether that's a social media post, whether that's organizing your content in a certain way or changing your branding, listen to that because that's all the communication. That's how you tell the world what you really are, who you really are, I should say. Libra rising, this is happening in your second house. This is money and self-worth. This is your everyday income. Okay. So if you're feeling like there's been some emotional crash around your income coming in, maybe you're not super happy with where it's at, or maybe there's been some surprises there, this is a really good time to kind of clean the slate, look at it a little bit differently. Let's purge out those scarcity stories because they are not serving you. They are absolutely keeping you from being a better place in your business or in your workplace, okay? So really needing to, let's say, unprogram some of those thoughts you have about your business and about your money. Super good spot to do some subconscious release. If you have been looking into doing those sessions with me, I'll leave the link in the show notes. It is such a great time to just rip the Band-Aid off of some of that stuff. All right, for Scorpio rising, take a breath. This is your full moon. This is a full-on identity glow up for you. Okay, something is dying so the real you can rise up. And you know what? You should be here for it. It may even, I'm going to venture to say some of you are feeling okay right now because some of the stuff you've already dealt with, being Scorpio yourselves, like you've already had some of this deeper stuff come up periodically in preparation to this full moon. You might have actually felt a release with this full moon. And you know what? I am so happy for you because these Scorpio energies are so deep. It could be difficult for some of us to deal with them, but you, my friend, you're an expert. You're here for it. And you know, on the other side of this transformation, on the other side of your emotions, you are so self-aware that you are going to be a better person. You've seen it happen in your life. And I think that is highly encouraging to the rest of us. So, hey, if you're Scorpio rising right now, reach out to a friend because we need a little help, okay, dealing with these energies that you're an expert in. All right, Sagittarius rising, deep, deep subconscious cleanup. You guys, this is your 12th house. This is the most spiritual house. This is your connection to God. This is also ends and beginnings, right? Like you stop something and you have a new thing coming. Like this is such a flow here to have Scorpio. It might feel like your old fears coming up for you and dreams. I'm seeing a lot of dreams coming up for you guys in a sense that, and they actually are kind of wild. Like they don't really make much sense because it's such a deep energy and it's such a dream state kind of house. I would just let those pass. And you know what I like to do with dreams sometimes? If it doesn't make much sense and you're like, okay, but why was that person in there? Who cares about the person? Who cares about the scenario? Let's look at the emotions that were evoked in your dream. Did you wake up fearful? Did you wake up feeling peaceful? You know, what came up for you? Did you feel some jealousy? Did you feel some regret? What emotions are coming up from these crazy stories that you're being shown in your dreams? Because sometimes it's more about the emotion and being able to say, maybe in my life I'm having some regrets and that's probably okay. And I can work through that. Okay, for my Capricorn risings, this is your 11th house. You really, really are looking at your friendship groups right now and you're saying, is this person for me or is this person against me? I don't know. And actually, it's very possible that you're coming to your own conclusions about your friendship groups or a social media group, let's say, even like a community group on Facebook or something like that. You've probably already started coming to your own conclusions about it, whether or not you fit in that, whether or not you want to be a part of it, or if it's fully aligned for you. And so some of that is coming up, but it might also be triggering some of these deep emotions around jealousy or envy or not feeling like you fit in. And so just be mindful of that and be willing to take those lessons and then also say, hey, is this really for me anymore? Is it time for me to clean the slate here and kind of, let's say, sage your 11th house? Is it time to sage that place? Because it might be. It might be. And I am fully confident that you are aware of that by now. So kudos to you. For Aquarius rising, this is your 10th house. This is career shifts or even like an ego death. This is a public persona, right? This is the upper part of your chart. This is what people see the most. It's either your workplace. If you don't have a workplace, maybe you would say, hey, I'm a stay-at-home mom. This is just what people see first from you. And there is probably some shifts happening here. It really feels like your purpose wants more soul. It's less about this is what I do every day and more about what does my soul want to do every day? And how does this align with that? So it's like a deeper meaning to your everyday work or your everyday atmosphere. I would encourage you to do some soul searching work here, maybe some journaling. What does my day look like? And how do I want that to change? Because something's not fitting there anymore. And it used to be fine. But your soul might be calling for something more here. And so I encourage you to dig deep into that and see what it is. For Pisces rising, this is a spiritual rebirth. Okay. This is happening in your 9th house. This is your bigger education. It's also foreign travel. It's like that social society and cultures that's in your world. You're really wanting to shift that a bit. So ditch old beliefs, right? It's saying, I want to dive into bigger beliefs. I want to dive into this subject, whatever. Take the leap. Take it. because this Scorpio full moon is showing you where you can grow here. And the mind, oh my gosh, you guys, the mind is so powerful. You're never wasting your time if you're learning something, if you're becoming more knowledgeable, even if that's on a more of a wisdom level, or maybe you want to become a Reiki master or something like I am. Like, there is more there. And so I encourage you to say, you know what? Maybe this is a good door opening for me, and I want you to trust it. See where it leads you. Okay, so my friends, I hope that was helpful for you. Before I let you go, I have a couple announcements that I wanted to share. One, I know I have a lot of listeners on the podcast, and then I have people in my Facebook group and people on TikTok and people who follow me on Instagram for my art. I have rebranded so much, and I'm in the process of releasing this. And with this rebranding, I have made all of my social media platforms to be a little bit more cohesive. So you're going to start noticing changes with that. You guys know I'm multi-passionate. I call in people because they are also multi-passionate and they love how I can stream these things together. Though I haven't always done that effortlessly, I have always done that with authenticity, 100%. And I do tend to use my intuition to share information or share knowledge or help people with shifts, like whatever's going on that day. I've now made it more cohesive to follow because you're going to know what the topic of the day is, no matter which platform or platforms you follow me on. So I'm going to just run through that with you real quick before I talk about the retreat. So first off, we have Active and Align Monday. There's going to be a lot about astrology and energetic guidance. It's all about the flow of the week, what's going on in the stars. We're going to talk about the energy of the week and all of the flow. You guys know I love that topic. So on Tuesdays, it's going to be Truth Teller Tuesday, which is going to be a focus on mindset shifts, on limiting beliefs, and just real talk about what's going on. Wired in Wednesday, we're going to incorporate some human design and some intuition tools. So these are going to help you to dig deeper. I know it's a question I get a lot. People always want to know, how do you become more intuitive? I'm going to add a lot of that into the Wednesday talks. On Thursday, it's Thrive Thursday. Lots about nervous system care here. That is a big thing that most of us need. And hey, it needs its own day. So we're tacking that with emotional regulation, and that's going to be an amazing Thursday for you. Feminine Flow Friday, this is creativity, this is rest, this is manifestation. All of the things in the flow of what you have going on. We'll talk about how to add more feminine energy into your everyday life. On Saturday, it's Soul Chat. So this is going to be storytelling and a lot of behind the scenes truths. A lot of you guys are asking me very in-depth questions about business life and personal life, which I love, but I hardly ever share on my social media platforms. So you're going to love that. And then Sunday, of course, Spirit Prep. Okay. This is planning. This is journaling. This is energy clearing for the week ahead. Some of you would also add like your content on that day. So everything will be flowing through Instagram stories, occasionally an Instagram reel, TikTok videos every day, Facebook posts every day, and here on the podcast at least once a week, sometimes twice. So no matter where you hang out, you're going to know what's coming and where to find me. You're going to know which days you don't want to miss and which ones you absolutely need. So I hope you guys will join me for that, and I hope it makes sense for you. And now on to my last announcement. I have been in the talks with a dear friend of mine who went through this work with me in subconscious release and then became a coach as well. And she also does some other really cool spinal flow stuff. And she has a retreat place, Pacific Northwest. And I am so looking forward to planning a retreat with her. But I also want to do it in a way that allows for those of you who follow me and who would be interested to get the first word of it before I release it to the public. And so if you're listening to the podcast and you say, dang, I really want to know what's going on and when, definitely join the email list. I will put it below. There's actually a link specifically if you're interested in a retreat, so you'll get a special email. let me know and we will get you in there. I have no idea when. I just know where right now. And I know that the first retreat is going to involve a lot of healing modalities, but it's also going to be a place for very creative and spiritually led women. So if that calls to you, you guys sign up. I would love to have you. Absolutely love to have you in my world for that. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I know we had a lot going on. Lastly, I will say if this Scorpio full moon has you in your feels, remember you're not alone, okay? You're not stuck. This is a cosmic push towards power, and I'm right there with you. So don't forget to follow me on socials to catch the new daily content. And if you want in on the retreat news, my DMs are open. I love having you guys a part of my world, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Talk soon.